Welcome to the AlbionTV War Report, your source of live battle coverage featuring the top guilds and alliances of Albion Online. Today is Friday, the 3rd of October, 2025. I am your host, The Chosen One, and I'm joined today by Lupac on the play-by-play, and we have Bogle behind the scenes on the camera. We are currently spectating the 14 UTC time slot here on Albion Asia on a 15-minute delay. If you guys have reports of action out in the world of Albion, please contact either Lupac or myself through Discord. It is the quickest way to reach us. We're currently watching lethal damage of the Joker Alliance and the Coalition Guild. Okay, that's going to throw me off all day. They're in defense mode right now as their territory in Avalanche Ravine is under attack. Was it Pure Gold who was coming? Or are they defending the other one?
This is an interesting one that I wanted to talk about, right? The other tower that was attacked was we saw these guys defend against Pobri.
It's Marhol.
Well, they were holding against Pobri the other day, Chosen, right? Mm-hmm. They are in the tower, 26% disarray. Pobri turns up with 35%, 36%. And me and Bogle were like, okay, this looks like it could go. The smaller force has the defensive position, right? But we'll give them a shot. Then, No turns up with 46 disarray, starts helping Pobri against the 26% defenders. And understandably, the guys in defense just mounted up and left, right?
Right, that's what you're going to do.
No one got any content. The tower was conquered. This one is some different people attacking Joker. So it does seem like the last few days we've watched Joker get it on all sides. But this fight, I will say, looks a lot fairer, Chosen. We've got a little while before the walls get weakened. Yeah, I'm sure half the server's going to turn up. Meanwhile, oh, by the way, just to spice things up, Chosen, a legendary castle has popped in this zone.
No way.
Right next to us.
I see it. It's right next to us.
A legendary castle. Lights up like Christmas. So if everybody wasn't on their way to this fight already, Chosen, if this zone isn't cluster queued in the next 20 minutes, I will eat my microphone and then probably invoice for a replacement because I'm poor. So, you know.
Oh, we don't do hardware replacements anymore.
I'm hopefully. What if it was eaten live in the show, though, right? Could that not be an expense, an operational expense?
You work for yourself, sir.
True, also true. Unfortunate. I didn't think these through. But I am hoping that Joker gets some good content and a good fight, win or lose today, because I felt for them. They were ready to go. And nothing feels worse as a caller to have to say to your boys, look, we got to dip out of here, right? But the caller sometimes has to make those tough decisions to, I hate calling it denying content, but just not, you know, feeding sets.
Not getting run over. Yeah, like there's no reason to sacrifice yourself for, you know, I don't know, like shits and giggles, right? Like you're not going to win. You're not going to defend at that rate. You're going to frustrate some of your guys. I mean, there was a time where I got to say, like the sacrifice would have been worth it. Back in the day of real home plots, right? Where you say, we're going to just go down with the ship, and it's like symbolic. You're doing it to just show that it, well, God, we need a new POV. Come on.
It's like he knows. It's that looked like Robin had just said he was doing well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
That was like Robin Hood already said he's doing well. Therefore, he must immediately die. She, S-H-E, as in the word, is a golem POV. Must have been a very early pack buyer to get that name, I'm saying. I'm gonna throw that out there. You don't see many 3-letter names.
Well, actually, you know, so when this server came out, it was one of those things where we were like, wow, we've got Bob and Dan and Stu, you know, Frank is here. You know, we're seeing all these just short normal names, and it lasted all of like a month until everybody had to make their new names, and now you've got oh well, there's an interesting guy over in global chat right now.
I'm sure there is. Oh god, I love the egg. They probably get away with that on the Asia server because of the language differences, right? But yeah, like to get a 3-letter name though in a free-to-play game is generally quite impressive if the game is as active as Albion is. But right now, you know, both sides are just they're gonna do a bit of diddy dancing, as Robin calls it. They're gonna throw a few bombs here and there, but the real fun will begin once those shields are down. And the Look Alliance, of course, they're not gonna want to steamroll through the first opening they make. They're gonna want to try and create a few holes in the wall so that they can not get funneled on the way in and out, because the Asia server, there's definitely people that are turning up for the content to some of these fights. There's a lot of third partying and hand holding with some of the bigger alliances, so you're never confident here on this server that you're getting a 1v1, right?
No, it's always a hit or miss. It's always a guessing game. Do you get content? Do you get runoff? Is it going to get overloaded? Is one of the alpha forces going to come through? And we've seen this for a while over here on Albion Asia. It went from the most poppin' server I'd ever seen during its first 3 seasons to really kind of change in pace and becoming more of one of those traditional Blue Donut servers where you have the force
Blue Donut, the classic.
Yeah, it's just one group controls everything, dictates who gets what, who gets to play where. But we saw recently that Fuck All decided he's done. You know, there was no content to be had. He just couldn't find any fights anywhere. It's unfortunate that happens when you control everything like that and make a mega coalition that decides who's going to win first, second, and third. It can be hard to have somebody come up underneath you. And, you know, it's not, I don't blame him for it, because that's what the game allows for, and it's the easiest way to get the most amount of resources. And it kind of sucks when you try to win a game by doing something. You see that it wins, but by doing that, there's no other force that can fight you. And that got pretty boring. So now we're seeing a new world.
Exactly what we saw yesterday, Chosen. Like, I told you about that hand-holding sort of situation yesterday, where they ganged up on what was quite a fair fight and just kind of spoiled the content for everyone. But then the two handholders went and had a friendly fight after, right? Yeah. So this is the thing, is like, oh, what we'll do is we'll just control everything by bullying everyone, and then we'll just fight each other for fun after with no consequence. Fun? And I'm like,
I don't know how fun that is. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I think some of the big alliances, I think once they've got a taste of the control and the power, they don't want to give it up, right? Owning the best zones in the game, having huge economy for fancy gear, like having a massive Zerg that everybody fears. Like, I feel that power corrupts, you know? The sayings are true, Chosen, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it does. And, you know, the other thing they say is that water flows downhill. So you've got two things. One, you do the easiest thing that you possibly can, right, to get victory. And the more you get that victory, the more you have the ability to do things that are, you know, leveraged, which makes it easier to get those resources. And it's an unfortunate situation. There's no real... It's very hard in a simulated environment like this to have a reason to not want to work together, right? Like, you know, in the real world, you kind of want to work together to make capitalism work. And this game is honestly, you know, in a lot of ways, you're trying to make a mini government work, right? Or business almost. It's almost more like a business, you know, the way it's designed to make a product, which would be more silver for everybody at the end, or more resources for everybody at the end, right? Like, that's what you're trying to do. And you try to take care of all your little groups along the way and make it easiest for you to accumulate the most resources. Now, it's not necessarily the best idea to sacrifice half your resources and have your neighbor sacrifice half their resources for an opportunity to get a reward, when you could just both work together and go, hey, let's just take that reward and split it, and then we don't lose any of the resources from fighting.
Well, yeah,
trickle down economics. It's a really easy argument to make, and then you find yourself bored. But we've got a real fight here today.
Grinder bombs there. Me grinder bombs over there. Like, the initial clap wasn't so clean, but a bunch of people got stuck. Yep. And then just ground down by the Dawn songs and that continuous wave of damage. This time, by the way, Joker today do come very, very prepared with a level 44 blob and local reinforcements on top of that.
Yep.
The lot guys are level 40, so I really hope this one carries on in the vein that it is, because it's a really good, it's basically max size before cluster queue fight and very, very even. So this will be an absolute banger, I hope. But yeah, the other thing you were saying, obviously you get these guys that rise to the top. It also then becomes like a snowball effect, because, okay, you're rank 1 and you're super rich. Everybody wants to join you. The best guilds want to ally you. And it just becomes easier and easier to maintain that top position as long as your core stays active and involved, right?
Yes. It can be very easy as long as you have the people who are willing to show up every day to make the basics happen. But the problem is when you're not really fighting for things, the joy of showing up every day kind of wanes. Like, it becomes a job, unfortunately. It stops being a competition in a game and starts becoming a repetition of daily tasks that are no longer fun. And
as long as you enjoy the fights, though, as long as you're getting content and you enjoy the fights, it's okay,
yeah, but if you're competing with somebody and you're doing these tasks to prep somebody else or yourself to actually have some real combat with consequences, that changes everything dramatically. Like, I'm willing to do a lot.
I don't want to cut in here, Chosen, but
we're moving out.
No, well, a wave of reinforcements arrived.
Yeah.
For the Look guys who are attacking, but a clap squad of Flying Dutchmen also zoned in.
Oh, Maverick and the boys. Okay.
I don't know who they're rocking with, but whatever happened there, the Look Alliance was suddenly like, hang on. You know, the Joker guys have come surging out. But I wonder if the Look guys maybe got a bunch of people cluster queued out there, Chosen, which is why they suddenly were like, whoa, because they...
Yeah, well, that could explain why there's only...
And Joker didn't hesitate. They came surging outside of the territory, despite the fact that the walls are kind of open. And it looks like they are looking to take some sort of fight outside, which makes me feel like they're not worried about the sandwich, which makes me think that those guys are a part of the party.
I'm watching Maverick and the boys right now and seeing where they're moving. They just ran towards Joker and instantly turned right back around. They are a smaller group at 17, still mounted. Just to the eastern corner of the territory. They're the most northern blob right now, so you should be still seeing fights between your two groups. These guys don't look like they're involved yet.
Yeah, something just popped off down to the south. Looks like Look just murdered a small group there. Some huge numbers on the board. I was still on She. I might actually try and find us a better POV outside, Bogle, if you've got something.
You might have to go into observe mode and then just go find the front of the fight guys.
I think so. I think I'll just observe She and just follow the
front.
I'm just gonna follow the skulls, Chosen.
Yep, just get to the skulls. That's what I
skulls. So outside, Look are back on the gate. They caught a bunch outside. There's some like defensive tanks playing miles from friendlies. And there's a bunch of gang squads obviously hanging around, a few combat looters. One thing I've been noticing on the Asia server, this is my 3rd day in a row, these guys clap rats. Loot rats get absolutely engaged on by here. There's like an unwritten rule that everybody engages on loot rats and just pause the fight as they go surging into the tower. And Look, take some big numbers down from the defenders here. They're going to send the Joker guys scattering towards that center, and another very clean clap on the southwestern side. Look have just completely secured the low ground here. They are getting hit on the other side.
It's about to happen.
Doesn't look like too many go down.
Maverick just overcharged, demounted, and he's making his way down towards this this large grouping here. I don't know who he's going to collapse in on.
They're looking to hit the Look guys, but they don't have the numbers here. Look is going to come out and clap the hell out of them. The Idol are caught bigly on the east side here. They do manage to get some defensives off, but this is going to get super messy.
Idol is just swarmed in from the northeast side, hit that Look group. Several of them are still mounted from Look for some reason.
Here comes the return,
Very
though.
Messy.
I mean, Look are just going to full push through them here. They're going to full push through them because they still have Joker at their back. Joker is now poking their heads out, but not with full force. And obviously, they can't really hit into this fight without hurting the Idol as well. Idol were trying to back them up. Both sides are losing numbers. Obviously, the Dutchmen are eventually going to go down because of this overwhelming force. But Look took some casualties. The idle guys definitely did their job in this fight. They still have a few. They still have a good number left. Actually, they are not completely done, but
no, they did a great job holding on. They lost about 10 real quick.
Now,
yeah,
they need to full send on them.
The guys in Idle lost about 10 in that engage after the initial push that they made. They've lost a couple of since, but they've done a really good job staying in the outskirts of this fight and hitting the corners and making the majority of Look stay involved with Joker on the point.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing for the Look guys is they did some heavy damage on that initial tower push, which meant it was a little bit harder for Joker to connect with this fight. And now, yeah, Idle are just, like you said, they're doing a great job of just picking off these sides, doing some work. They are going to lose a few there, but the rest of them will survive for the ice block, and the counter comes in thick and fast with the golem. Now they just need to protect the guys in the ice block, because here comes a second wave engage over the top. They're going to turn into clouds. They're going to ice block, and they're actually going to get every single person out of that engage.
They got everybody out.
The bruisers from Look are connecting into the back line. There's a big clap, though, and there is no more ice blocks for those guys. Maverick, though, wants to get a return. Golem mode goes in with the rock wall. Can they find the follow-up? Yes, they can. Big kills there. Can they kill the guys after the ice blocks? I think they're going to follow up and kill them as well. Idle continuing to have impact in this conflict. The loot rats are on. I hope these loot rats get clapped. Give them the big clap any second. They are checking everybody right now. Look still holding, and Look can't press the issue because Joker are sat there ready to hit them in the side if they push too hard. Now it looks like Idle are going to mount up, go for the swing round to the back via 817 bloodletter looters, and then they're going to come around the back and they're going to try and do even more damage. The defense force, the backuppers arrived, like the Riders of Rohan. Idle have tipped this battle heavily in the face. They just caught two battle mounts trying to remount Chosen. Maverick is on top of them. He's going deep. He gets knocked back by the ensnare, but there are two battle mounts in this clump, ice blocked, who do not have their mounts out right now. Unfortunately for the Idle boys, they couldn't convert that into kills. Maverick is a little bit isolated as Look have gone surging, and now Idle, they're just kind of stacked next to Joker, and this is now kind of awkward. This is exactly where Look are going to want them.
Yeah, this has just been a incredible play by the guys in Idle, coming in and putting so much pressure on Look. Look had to deal with these guys, and I think the main fight is on that front now between Look and Joker, but Maverick's going to continue to swing into these back lines and get groups of 2 and 3, and Look might need to try to find a way to pull back and deal with them, like to actually pull back and deal with.
Yeah, but
Joker's swinging at them too.
Wait, what?
This is not. This is a 3-way fight. Joker and Idle are currently fighting. If we hop over to Maverick real quick, you can see that this is a true 3-way fight, and Maverick and the boys are running with a tiny.
Look at Stay Chat. He says nap with Idle. What WTF are you doing?
Oh, okay. I don't have Say Chat open. Sorry, I just have the death thing, and I saw like 3 different engages.
Yeah, I think there was a little miscommunication. Yeah, this does sometimes happen with unallied allies. But even then, like, you can see that they were okay. So it was only like half of them realized that they weren't supposed to do that. Therefore, there wasn't the kill pressure. But like you said, I mean, Idle are doing good work with quite small numbers, but they do have A, good IP, B, low disarray, and C, the advantage that their target is tied up fighting somebody else, right? That's always the dream. But now, as I called earlier,
they're up to 22.
Okay, Pobry has turned up, and they are sieging the castle, though, Chosen. And now they're just clustering people out to siege the castle 40 minutes early. This fight has basically just been ruined because of the legendary castle. Pobry are not third party.
They've cluster queued the zone so bad that lethal damage can't get back in the zone.
Yeah, it was already cluster queued, right? Pobry zoned in, but they're not even trying to third party. They just want position in the castle. I don't think we're leaving Avalanche Ravine today, Chosen. I think that this show is going to be the Avalanche Ravine report, because there are 5 different forces now on the map. Maverick is like, okay, what on earth do I do now? I'm going to give this up. The good news is I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the the banner, the Conquest banner, was destroyed.
Yeah, I don't see it.
So the Conquest never went on. There is still raid banners. Joker are still fighting Look, though, in the main section. So
yeah, I hopped back over to She for a moment to see where they were. They have backed up to the territory. They're defending the territory from the walls. I think the main fight we're seeing outside would be the Look and Idol fight. And as I say that, Joker moves out. She is moving out. I don't know who their actual shot caller is at the moment. I thought it was Damage, but he is not able to get in the zone. So either he doesn't know how to use cluster Q priority, or that's not him. She is leading a force, but they're not getting too deep here on this main group yet.
I think Pobry, despite not getting directly involved, although they are, Look is now at the castle, by the way. Okay, Look actually owned the castle, and they've decided to bunker down in there for a while because, you know, Pobry are on the field. Joker came surging out. Idol, I think Idol ran away because they were being cluster queued out, right? So they were like, look, we need to leave before half of us just get cluster queued out and the rest of us die. Pobry are bringing more to this zone. Joker is going to be pretty happy with this because they've now defended their tower and the raid banner has gone down. Pobry did end up grabbing the zone next door, which I think was one of the sieges that was going on. So they did lose Avalanche Incline, which is the T8 zone, always painful.
And Maverick got kicked out too, so he's out in. Oh, maybe he's back in Ravine. Yeah, he just zoned back in.
Yeah.
So
now Look are heading southwest. Joker are holding inside the tower, and I have no idea where Pobry have disappeared to at this point.
They're that blob. Isn't that the giant blob to the west?
No, that's Look who ran in. So Pobry ran away because Look ran straight to the castle. They already owned it, so Pobry weren't able to flip it.
Okay.
And they didn't. They obviously didn't want to get like jumped on the Lord rune. Somebody just said handhold dog in local chat, and I honestly didn't see any handholding. To be honest, like
yes,
all I saw
you
was
saw
chaos.
Joker in Idol.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. I thought they clapped each other, but you're right. That was just a little accidental thing.
Blue pack.
Idler back though. Idler back for more hand-holding action. But I mean,
if you're gonna use that, is it? I would say leashing, right? You're like,
I can't blame Joker though in a way, because they were the ones that did get like run at multiple times.
Yeah, they got beat up over the last. Yeah, Minerva X and the boys, they've had some pressure on them for a little while.
We've seen some meanies doing mean things to them.
I think it's called gaming, man. If you're attacking somebody, because they had an attack today. They Minerva X of Joker, they were attacking next door, and somebody's attacking you, and there's attacks day in and day out on multiple time slots. That's exactly what you want. These guys have enough silver to re-gear. They have enough silver and energy to keep their hideout and HQ up, and they're fighting over something valuable, which is these castles and these towers on a regular basis. That's where the game excels. If you're at a point where you're like, you ain't got any enemies and nobody's coming to attack, and you don't have anybody to attack, and there's nothing to raid, nothing to conquer, that's when the game gets boring. These guys are living peak Albion right now.
Yeah, for sure. One thing that we did notice, though, the other day was the Stellar Alliance, who are the second place one, running from a slightly unfavorable fight with defensive position. They didn't seem to have any backup coming. They kind of dipped. But they currently, I just noticed earlier, I mean, we had so much action, I didn't even get to mention it. A second gold castle actually popped on the map, which probably prevented Avalanche Ravine from becoming an absolute clusterfuck, because at least there's another one. We've currently got Stellar Alliance on the defensive position, and GRB pushing in. I've got to find us a POV. Do we have a go-to POV for Stellar Alliance? We should, right?
Stella. The issue is that everybody has changed their alliance tags in the not everybody,
Well,
but a
they're
lot of them.
unallied right now.
Oh, the
The
guilds
Stellar Alliance
are.
is the name of a guild. It's the second ranked guild in the server right now. They're called Stellar Alliance. Q's in.
Oh yeah, we do.
Is
Yes.
is the lead QXIN, but I don't believe he was there.
Yeah. Let me see what Robin has for us.
He
I don't
is.
think we.
He's
You do?
He's
You
actually
have him?
well. He's in Elder Sleep. Okay, he's just zone. He's coming into the zone shortly. Maybe I'm not sure what he's doing. This is very weird though. I felt they don't seem to be fighting each other at the castle. I'm not sure what's happening. In fact, wow, Stellar Alliance have done it again. They just ran away. They just ran away from the castle fight. This is the second time in 3 days we've seen this.
So yeah, I was gonna say the only time I've seen these guys, and this is why I completely forgot they were in second place, is because the only time I've seen them is when somebody comes to take something that they're currently defending, and it's been a castle, and they run away. And this is the second time I've seen it now. So like, I haven't seen much of them in the field. I do not have a caller for them.
The good thing is, Shozen, I have a really good grasp of what their cape looks like because I always see the back of them while they're running away,
hey,
right?
Hey,
I know exactly what the cape looks like because that's all I see. Oh, man. But, like, yeah, they've run away from some pretty manageable fights, in my opinion. The sort of fights that you really want your guild to take because those are the road
that's
to
what
improvement.
I saw the other day. It was that the group they ran from was smaller than them, and I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
They were slightly outnumbered in the other fight that they ran from, in fairness, but they had defensive position on a castle.
Yeah, it was defensive position in a castle. They had.
That's got. I mean, if it's not 2-1 outnumbered, I don't think you should. I don't know. We saw a very small.
I would go with a third. If it's a third more than what you have, that's when it starts to get really like iffy. More than that, and you're really gonna have a hard time.
But yesterday we saw an 18 versus a 32. In a castle, the 18% defenders. It ended up as an even fight though, because the 18% absolutely bombed the hell out of them until it was evens, and the attackers just left. They were like, okay, these
brutal.
Yeah.
Well used defensive tactics. That I mean, you can do it, but like, you have to be really good. For Poultry, we do have Q-Quok whenever we need him.
Excuse me, you've got a what?
Q-Quok.
Oh, right. Okay, you should probably go to the doctor. If that's
I did, yeah.
Okay, so in Cluster Key Ravine, though, we now have 49 Disarray Pobri inside the castle.
Yep.
And 44 Disarray Joker inside the territory.
Outside, I mean, I'd say they're right outside.
I'd say this should be a banger. This should be a banger fight, but you know, are they going to fight? Who knows at this point?
The saddest thing is I see members of Jin and CCTV outside looking at this.
Oh, they're asking
thinking, oh, I remember content. You know, you guys get back together and do it again.
The loot rats are here. The loot rats are here. And, you know, they're all sitting there impatiently going, why are these guys not fighting and delivering me free loot? They're actually asking each other to fight in the open. Joker with the lower numbers doesn't want to fight into the castle. Pobri doesn't want to fight into the territory, but Pobri hold the castle, and that's where the big gold chest is, right?
Right,
so
that's where the reward is.
That's where they be chilling. So I'll keep an eye on both these gold castles while we see if anything else is kicking off. Any raids going on in the territories.
I'm just gonna go through the list of people that we had who were out before. I was pretty sure we were going to get something from Clean Kill at one point. They were out and about.
Clean Kill Asia? Blimey. They didn't realize they had that Asia.
No, I got the wrong game. I do. I have the wrong one.
Well, some of these guilds do exist on multiple servers.
No, it's whatever Nick Pan is.
It's the Nick Pan guild on Asia.
No, God, I get these two confused. It's Lucky Ben. God damn it.
Right.
Lucky Ben and Nick Pan, for some reason, I think they play the same or something. I always get those two confused.
Lucky Pan and Nick
Don't
Pan.
Don't ask. Hey, like, there's weird connections in my brains, and it's all Rise and no and for some reason, I get them confused all the time. And I think it's like the third time this season I've done this. Robin's correcting me. He's like, what are you talking about? I don't know why I see these two guys as the same.
I mean, I give you the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, well, you probably know all these different forces more than me, shows.
I don't, man. I don't.
Well,
Like, there's too many
clearly
of them.
not.
Do you have any? They change every 3 weeks.
True.
Bogle's on Hugh, I hope, right? Bogle's on Hugh. I'm just looking through people right now.
Lucky Ben and the boys are in Sunfang Cliffs. I'm not sure where they're heading. They might be heading to the Gold Castle, but if they do, they're going to find a very large force waiting for them. They're going to go for a dungeon skip, actually. So that could give us a clue where they're headed. There's actually some real juicy no-re territories raidable right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea if these guys have interest in that, but Razor Rock Chasm has 5k energy in it.
Ooh,
and 4k energy sitting next door in Razor Rock Valley. So these are really some good territories to raid, and it's not the quickest to raid them, but if they're occupied elsewhere, like hand holding at a gold castle or something, then you might get an opportunity to grab that energy and bring it home. Who knows?
So did see Marhalika and Lag out. Tofu and Clean Cut are out. Everybody's, like, not everybody, but there's a lot of people out. All Rise and Aguila and just a lot, but nothing running into each other yet. Actually, I didn't see anybody up by these guys in with Cutthroat. They seem to be pretty alone. See what the Meerkats are at. Maybe they're out and about. Oh, Skylake Hinterlands, maybe?
This is a guild, by the way, not actual We're not spectating meerkats in Albion.
Actual meerkats. Your actual meerkats. They have assembled.
Critters.
They assembled and kind of like a transformer. They're at a green castle alone in Skylake Hinterlands. Nothing there on those guys, but they are out.
GRB have level 35, by the way.
Sometimes, you know, Lupac, I feel like we just have too much stuff for all these guys to go to. And I feel like if we just had 3 rare castles or 2 rare castles and a legendary castle, everybody would show up to those. But when you have a lot of castles all at once, everybody goes and gets their own thing.
True. First world problem, Chosen. Too much content.
No content. Too much reward.
Or too much objective, sorry.
Too many reward. Things to go for. And not enough people to fight over them. And
there's only 2 gold castles, right? And those are the big season points. But we were having this discussion yesterday.
3 different guilds hanging out at green castles instead of fighting for them. Even though 2 of those forces that are at these green castles absolutely could contend with either of the forces that we have at the gold castles.
The thing is,
they
don't
have to and just go get free stuff.
Gold castles are like one of the biggest points boosts you can get, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is the biggest, most active season pushing guilds, from what I've heard, they will actually often max out the castle challenge.
Which
means that they don't have to go for every single one, even though like it's a bajillion miles away. And I honestly would rather see the gold castle like absolutely ramped up in value and something like the old white mammoth drop lowered in value. You know, something that is just something that just is based around who's got the most AFK scouts versus who's actually going out and playing.
Yeah. I don't know if more rewards are honestly what's necessarily with a lot of these Outland stuff. I think that everybody thinks they need more rewards because they're scaling it off the other rewards that are in the Outlands. And there's so many rewards in the Outlands that nobody needs to fight over the rewards in the Outlands. It's so easy to share them, and everybody has a place, everybody has a prize. It's participation rewards across the board in the Outlands. You don't have to fight for the big things. You don't have to fight for your home. You don't have to fight for a territory. You don't have to fight to make sure you have a hideout. You don't have to make sure you have to fight to have a HQ. You can just walk over to the uncontested core And you can go to the uncontested vortex and you can pull it back to your zone. And there's enough of it so that most people can do it without having to fight to make sure that they have a place. And if that's the case, people are just going to always work together because they don't need to say either you get it or I get it. They can say we both get it. And as long as we can both get it, we don't have to fight for it. When one side gets it and the other side doesn't, that's when you start to see conflict. When you see that it becomes so hard to work together because the more you work together, the less you have for people, that's where you really start to create conflict. Conflict in the real world is created by scarcity. And in Albion, we really don't have much of a scarcity issue out in the Outlands.
You think there's too much stuff, yeah.
And it's not necessarily it's too much stuff. It's the way that you get the stuff doesn't require you to fight for it.
I mean, 8-4 nodes always seem to have fights. Like, everybody fights for an 8-4 node.
Yeah, everybody fights for an 8-4 node. When it's there, it's well telegraphed. It's resources that one person can get or the other, not both.
Yeah.
And we lost Tofu. Do we have anybody else for Demon? Hey, what do you want? That's their name. I got... You're on you?
He's...
Okay. Oh, he's go
yeah.
too? All right.
Yeah, full go over here for Haikyuu. Finally, Cluster Q Ravine has some action again. I think they came to an agreement to fight outside then. Joker and the Pobri guys. We have a Cluster Q. We have some large forces. Now, I would definitely say the pecking order, having watched the last few days of fights, it seems that... Oh, we nearly lost our POV there. It seems that, like, Joker have been getting ganged on by Nori and Pobri. But when they have the friendly fights, Nori seems the stronger force. So this is probably a good one for Joker to take. I mean, it's interesting they agreed to fight outside, right? Rather than have no fight. And then I assume the winner gets the castle either way. So I'm glad that people would rather have content. Although, do I see some Nori guys here as well? Is that what the purples are? I have guild tags turned off here. For the ones I'm spectating.
Right. Well, you and Pobri have pushed these guys off for a moment. Let's see if... oh, we are mounting up.
Wait, what?
I don't know why. With Tofu and boys.
They're kind of diddy dancing around. There is another blob on the map. I don't know if there's some classic issue. Oh, yeah. So that's another squad of Joker just kind of chilling on their own. So there is... Okay, they're actually repositioning. I'm not sure what's going on then. Joker are moving up the road. Pobri just chilling. What's the disarray, by the way? These guys are 47. Joker are 44. These are some huge forces. Like, cluster queuing the zone on their own, Chosen. I'm going to chill at the other castle. See if anything kicks off there.
Okay, well, there was one, you know, with the guys with Tofu and the Seaman Alliance, but I can't read the names of his group without my glasses. No. Yeah, unfortunately, my glasses.
He can't see without his glasses.
Yeah, my wife has my glasses, and I can't read the tiny names in the group bar. Yes, yes, I know. Yeah.
Right, we were talking about yesterday, like, even like me and Melis were saying, like, you can't read the names when they run over snow either.
No, the enemy names over snow. Red names over snow. Oh.
I thought I was just getting old, right?
No, it's everybody. Everybody feels that way.
Right. Thank God. Thank God. Well, I mean, I am getting old. Everyone's getting old. That's how it works. But, like, you know, I thought...
But the natural motion blur on names needs to go. And it's been something that I've been complaining about for years. Why is motion blur on name tags? I don't need that.
See, it does seem unnecessary, doesn't it?
Yeah. And we do have another group coming up around the outside of the northeast side of the castle in Avalanche Ravine over on Hue. So Paulbury might be getting some more content in just a moment.
All right. I'm seeing a lot of lag checking here for the GRB guys. I've got GRB in Glacier Fall Fisher. Again, they are level 35, so it's going to be a significant force needed to take them on. But I'm going to come back over then. There's nothing going on in Fisher, so I'll come back to Avalanche and see if this does get going.
Yeah, it is. It's about to kick off.
Oh,
Paulbury has come outside, and we have three groups.
Cock is running back in. Joker are actually split in two here, by the way. This force of Joker that Highcock is running into, is he trying for a dismount here before they can regroup?
This is what he likes to do, and he's always, I don't like this.
And he just sacked like 3 of his guys, and he has the disarray cooldown and no buff.
And he's gonna get down to half. Doesn't have anybody around him.
Oh, here comes the backup over the top though, and
Finally
they get some
the
kills.
Clump, but there's no DPS near him.
They definitely gave Joker some freebies there. It looks like the allies came in a little bit and saved the day, but I'd say they lost a few more than they needed to. Joker also were able to make a clean break along this like river's edge and prevent that split in two. They've got a bunch of guys hanging off to the east as well. It looks like Joker are playing on 2 fronts. The Bastion's doing a good job of holding that flank at bay, and it looks like Highcock, he wants to hit the smaller side of the force here where we can find She that we were watching before. Gonna look for the Golem switch pretty soon, I'd say. Got the charges, gonna make the switch and go for the pull on this choke. How many will he get with this? Should get these stragglers nice and easy.
Well
Newcomb trying to get out of there alive. Does manage a snare charge to safety. Any heals? Does get a shield and should be okay. Highcock then he's going to make a rotate round to the other side after shuffling through that first force. He's going to try and hit the side or the back of the main Joker force. Obviously they've agreed not to play in their tower, and Paulbury have agreed not to play in the castle. Highcock doing the same thing again, looking for that deep dismount. It doesn't work the same as it used to, unfortunately, and they've got to be careful getting caught on these mounts now. Again, the loot rats are sifting through the bodies.
We're going to see further changes with patch 6 to these mounts. We'll talk about that today during the daily show. Some of the proposed changes. I don't know if you guys went over them yesterday, Lupac, but there's a lot of changes coming to the battle mounts.
We did the patch notes the day before. I mean, we can revisit today during the daily show, of course, if we want to. Be down for a bit of that.
For sure, we can go through that. There's a lot to go through on there. Should be good. I don't know what you guys have covered this week. Been away a bit.
Yeah, well, we had a more general talk show yesterday. It was supposed to be the Q&A, but we just listed it as a daily show because we'd lost track of time. You know, without you here shows, everything falls apart. But we had a fun show the day before. We went fully through the patch notes. Obviously, you were there for that, and that was some good stuff for sure. Not too big a patch this one, but some very significant changes as you pointed out. And then yesterday was just chatting with the community, discussing overarching economy stuff in Albion. Memeing on Bogle for bag crafting. We talked about the referral mount system as well a little bit. But some really interesting discussions yesterday, actually.
Good to hear. Well, this is a bit of a back and forth. These guys have gone at it a couple of times here, but nobody seems to be happy with their positioning. Lots of rotating.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's kind of like, okay, no one wants to be the one getting caught out, right? Always
nobody wants to be in the middle. Nobody likes to be in the middle, but sometimes you got to get yourself somewhere in order to get some content. Some of the best shot callers we've seen are those who can play in the middle and have found how to use that position to their advantage by either moving around or through their opponents in a way that while starting in the middle, they often get their opponents to run into each other while chasing them. And that seems to be generally more effective than just trying to avoid being in the middle and making it so nobody engages and everybody rotates around. If you're the brave one to be there and start it, you can often dictate where the next flow goes.
Double OC rigging out for a few people. See if they can, if they can do something here. Again, everybody's looking for that like clean opening. These big fights, one mistake can cost you so many people, and both these Zergs will not hesitate to jump in if they get a shot like that, right? They'll be like, okay, we see the opening. It is kill time for sure.
Okay, interesting movement here. Going to try to see if they can claim this eastern flank on their opponent here. Looks like they're moving in with purpose.
Yeah, Joker trying to kite this out there. They can see Highcock looking for the opening. He goes for the sprint. Switch to the Golem mode. Gets the pull in, but it's going to be defensive down. And will Joker look for the return? They're happy to just take one casualty and get everybody out. Immediate pullback from Pobry, though. They don't want to commit to this too hard. A few of their defensive players are stuck in ice block at the back. A few low HP guys coming through. And actually, some of the stragglers end up losing their life to the Joker retaliation. Pobry now going for the engage again. Highcock maybe trying to fake out some defensives, but early use of the void there to just shut down anything coming in, get everybody out with that cleanse and resistance buff. Highcock, he goes for a choke play. Shields are already in place, and actually it's Pobry taking the damage here. A little side swipe coming in. Great positioning from the Spirit Hunter. That Corrupted Steel getting the debuff off nice and early before the damage. Very, very clean play from both sides. Both sides very hesitant to overcommit at the moment, Chosen.
Yeah, nobody wants to get caught in the middle and just completely decimated by both sides, like you were saying before. And if you get completely engaged, it does make it very hard to pull out. You know, it's hard to back away from your opponent when you're completely engulfed. And if you get hit from two sides in this, you know, it can be very devastating. And it looks like Hugh's going to mount up, try to get a rotation. There is a battle going on just to our north. He's going to try to engage in it. As it looks, the other two forces are already thick into the battle. He's just going to try to push right through.
Yeah, Griffin Empire's allies did some really good work there, shows, and they came swinging in and managed to hit some real big plays.
And Joker does get smashed here. The Myth and Minerva X losing some players here.
This is very grindy. It's trading nicely, but I do feel that Pobry they're playing it very solidly on multiple fronts here and just supporting each other, holding off those side flanks. And the bombers from Pobry they seem to consistently be getting like 2-3 kills with each clap. And that is going to start whittling down these numbers. I don't know what the regear situation is. I mean, I know Joker can regear quite quick. I'm not sure about the Pobry guys. But either way, like, the allies have still got to wait for the cluster queue to get in. Highcock, though, losing a few to his side. And they're a little bit wedged along this river. I mean, I don't really like this. If you do end up... If the fight goes badly and you're in this sort of position, it's very easy to just get squeezed out. And I think they realize that, and they're gonna merge the forces back together and look for an angle here. About time that I go check in on my other gold castle as well. See what is happening there. Talking about what's happening, don't worry, guys. There's plenty of action going to be happening regardless. Okay, over in Glacier Fall Fisher, we do have Look attacking GRB Sunset for the castle. I think did I have a POV earlier in advance? I don't know who was the shock caller for Look that we had earlier. I'm not sure, but anyway, Look are surging into the castle. GRB took some heavy casualties on the push. It's level 32 versus level, I don't know, because they've got too many buffs, level 31. So a slight advantage for the defenders, but they have been split in half over here. And it actually looks like Look are just going to run through them with no fear and murder them all. So I don't know how long this one will go, but we can go on to, I don't know, we can start on Best and work from there, I guess. Start on this guy, and we'll work from there if he survives. GRB looking really hesitant, and look are wrapping round towards that Suicide Alley Lord room. I think this is done, actually. I think they've scattered them. This was an absolute one-way stomp. Numbers were in favor of GRB, but I think there might have been a huge mismatch of skill here, because this was an absolute murder. Which we love to see on Albion TV, but I like it to last a few more minutes so that there's some casting, right?
Yeah, it's nice to see a bit of murder, but when it goes too fast and you don't get more than 30 seconds of content, it is back into the cluster queue you go. But we do have Hugh is about to engage once again. His allies have been engaged for this whole fight, and they're about to re-engage with Joker right now if we want to head over.
Okay, we can have a look over there for sure, I would say.
Oh, a few members of Joker going down in the first push here. Sleepy is going to follow as well as Mufeb. Sure.
Mufeb, yeah.
Mufeb, yeah.
Highcock taking a little break to even do a bit of looting, I think. Here, love it. You know, you gotta make sure that gear. You gotta make sure that gear hits the guild bank, right? Sometimes you gotta take matters into your own hand. Can't trust anybody these days, Shozen.
No, you can't trust anybody. That's the, well, actually, that's the thing is you can trust people because it's so easy to work together.
You can trust them to rob you, I guess. Lol.
Let's see. Just trying to answer some questions in Twitch chat now. We've got a couple of interesting ones over there. Just trying to help them out.
Highcock did lose some of his allies. He suddenly got a bit hesitant now. I'm not sure if his allies like took too heavy casualties and they're gonna have to merge together, but they absolutely like just something switched and they immediately went back a bit. Joker are hugging their tower wall as well. And while they had like kind of a weird situation, right? Because while they've agreed not to sit in the tower and defend, it does mean that anybody that needs to escape can just nip in there, right? And chill. So it's like, okay, we're not technically defending, but yeah, could be considered a little cheesy in some situations. Man, this is so back and forth. Blimey, I feel bad for GRB, by the way. So pretty much this entire show, they've been sitting on the defensive since they made Stellar Alliance leave the castle in Glacier Fall Fisher. And they just kind of had to sit AFK. They didn't get a fight. Nope, and then look, came in and steamrolled them in 10 seconds. So I feel bad that they waited there that long, didn't shy away for the fight, and then got absolutely mauled. But a very, very nice showing for the Look Alliance. It looks like it's mostly the Summers Guild as well. Like, yeah. They do have a few other allies, but Summers with huge numbers on the field for a 200-man guild. Level 41, and I think it's almost all of them. It is only them and no allies, and they brought level 41 with 200 people. That's insane. God, guild leaders would beg to have attendance like that, wouldn't they?
Oh, absolutely.
What have we got then for Mr. Highcock? Is he up to anything fun yet?
He is just about to engage once again. Joker
no, they are getting it under. They're getting it underway again for us. Good to know. Man, yeah, this one's going very, very slow. I mean, I guess there is nothing they're actually playing for because they're not fighting for the castle, essentially. So I hope somebody goes and loots that in 4 minutes' time. There's 60 odd million. But yeah, as we were saying before, we still have lots of content to bring you here today on Albion TV. We're going to have an EU war report later, a daily show. Well, no, wait. What day is this? Friday. A daily show. And then is it PvP tonight? Is there an interview? Is there... What's going on?
PvP tonight. No interview this week, unfortunately. We don't have anybody to talk to other than ourselves.
Wow. But like, and Twitch chat. Not in a like, you know, mental illness, I talk to myself kind of way.
Well...
Or maybe.
I mean, ourselves as in, like, the people who will be on the stream.
Amongst us. Talk amongst us, right?
I mean, we will talk to the stream as well. We always do. I'm a big fan of those who chat and stream. I've been actually typing to many of our new viewers today as it's been a little quiet here. Letting you do the casting while I just take care of our new viewers. A lot of questions about what we have going on.
Dude, it's not really been too quiet. It's just this particular fight is very, very slow. Like, they're just kind of poking each other, and now they've stopped. I don't know if there's OC issues, because obviously Joker started... Yeah, I think they've had to stop because Joker started this fight on the hour on defense. So Red OC is actually coming to an end for a lot of them. So they've had to pause the fight because they don't want to be in the fight, and all their gear breaks, and then they just lose because of that. But now it does look like the Pobry guys are going to be playing offense onto the tower, and Joker are going to hold there. But this is going to be weird because, you know, the doors are going to open in a few minutes, I think. Do they literally open at the end of the hour, or is there still a grace period? I know there's a grace period where they shut before prime time. When do they open after prime time? That I don't know.
Good question. Bogle, do you have an answer? Okay.
Wait.
I don't think he was prepared for that, unfortunately. Bogle was looking at something else. I didn't pay attention. What was the question? Okay.
I said, do we know what time the doors reopen after prime time? I know that they shut 15 minutes before. Do they reopen 15 minutes after or on the hour? You can answer in like comms so that I don't sound like I'm talking to myself. He says on the hour, I think.
That's the point. He wants you to feel like you're talking. Yeah, you're talking to the AI. You're Googling it.
Can't believe he would do this to me.
Yeah.
Icon
nice plays here at the door.
Funny mother. One more thing we saw a lot in these yesterday, where you get to these size of forces, they start introducing things like dedicated kidnappers and stuff into their Zerg, which I love to see. Right? It's like, if you have 20 people, you maybe can't have that in your Zerg. You've got too many other things that are necessary for the function. But once you've got like 150 people, you can have these like little niche builds that actually pop off and have some big impact.
Nice group coming outside, seeing what they can do to disturb the guys pushing in. Nice use of just timing.
Some people going super low there. Even on that was a tank player that went to, you know, a slither of a bar. That's the effect of those spike gauntlets, the tank destroying specialist. I did notice that Joker do have a couple of high-end, high gear, high spec players on those, and you can't disrespect those as a plate user. I have never seen like a cluster queued friendly fight by this. It is on the hour though. The castle will be going the way of Pobry. So whatever happens, they're kind of free rolling this fight now because they have the money from the castle to help pay for it.
Yep.
As well as an absolute shit ton of season points. And it does look like the Summers Guild did not get contested for the other castle either.
Free.
So they got that for free.
Real estate. Free real estate. Let's see what happens here. I'm really sad to see that Jin and CCTV have been reduced to rats at this timer. I wonder if at other timers they're still active.
It's one of those things that if you're not CTAing but you're online, right? Matt, if you live nearby, you might as well go and have a look, right? Grab a
Go
bit of loot.
see what you can
I
find on the
don't
ground.
like to encourage it, Shozen. You know where I stand on these things. You know I don't like to encourage it, but, you know, I've been told that I need to be more inclusive to all different types of gameplay. So here we are, you know. Go and rat your loot. I hope you trip over a log and hurt yourself. On the way.
Well, Hugh is going back in for another swing at these guys. Oh, nope,
Few of
he's
his boys
back
are
to
going
mount it
out.
up. Maybe he was running over there going, guys, look, I'm mounted. We're leaving. I don't know what it was, but it looks like we're pulling out here.
I've got the craziest visual bug on him. I don't know if you guys have got that.
I don't think so.
Look at this. So for my POV, he was he was doing a balancing act. He was running along his moose as his moose ran. I've sent you a screenshot to show that I'm not going mad. Like, he was like over the top. He just left. Right, all that, and they're just like, okay, we're done. I mean, I think Joker have to call it because their red OC was about to shatter a lot of them. Although some Pobry have stayed. I don't know why Highcock has left, but talking of leaving, we are coming up to the hour, Shozen. So we're probably going to wrap things up here soon for the war report here on Asia. But as I said, we got lots more shows today, including plenty of shows where you could have the opportunity to win some free premium. Free premium. Who wouldn't want a bit of free premium in their life? You know, I certainly would. Luckily, I get it through the Albion Online Creator Program, so it's all good. But yeah, thank you, as always, to the lovely guilds and players of Albion Online for sacrificing themselves on the battlefield for our viewing pleasure. And, of course, thank you to Shozen and Bogle for being here to help me along with the show. Couldn't do it without you guys. It says they said there's an 8-4 nearby. Somebody
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing, yeah.
Can't see it.
Well, I think that's over where
unless he meant Stellar Alliance, actually. That might be
Laughing
Stellar we're going
Boulevard is over there, I believe, working on that one.
Oh, okay. There we go. Because an 8-4 is less
one of those
points
things.
than a castle, but way more money than a gold
But
castle.
people go and fight for it because it's rare. Like, you can't get it any other way, so you have to go and get it.
Can't you just transmute it?
Well, I mean...
Can't you literally just make it in town? Used to be rare. You used to not be able to transmute that, but then it was too controlled.
Hey, I'm just.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you down there.
You're right, and there's nothing I can do about that. Unfortunately, my crusade to make things valuable in Albion Online so that people fight over them it's just not going well. Because you know what people hate? The idea of less rewards.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you guys can have kind of the same rewards. I just want you to have to fight over them. And they're like, yeah, that's great.
No. Why can't they have them free? Not fair.
Well, it's not. It's a complex problem, Lupac. People don't like the idea of like not having enough and people getting left out.
Yeah.
And when you say
participation awards,
well, it's not. Participation is the reward for participating at a lower level, and we've seen that work in other areas of Albion and not work in other areas of Albion. We can use the Crystal League as an area where it worked and didn't work, right? Where you had to participate at a certain level in order to be able to participate in the next level, and there was a true scarcity for level 9 tokens and level 8 tokens, and those were very valuable, and those who could achieve those things were given great praise and wealth across the board, right? And guilds worked very hard to achieve that, and for a while when there wasn't easier ways to get those rewards, that was the way to do it, and people put in huge amounts of effort in order to do it. Once there were other ways to get similar rewards, the effort that was necessary to do that and the knowledge that you were going to have to compete at the highest level to do that was a deterrent to doing that, and people just chose the easier path. Right now, there are a lot of easy paths to wealth in Albion, and people choose those rather than the ones where they compete. because the non-competitive areas of Albion allow you to still make the same amount of wealth. There's nothing preventing you from working together to have a level 6, zone height, like a peak hideout, right? There's nothing that is saying that you can't work together with your neighbor to achieve that. I would like a world in which you can't both have that.
Okay.
And in a greater sense, like everything at the higher rewards has to be fought over, and there's a very limited number of them, and no level of participation without conflict will allow you to get it.
Right.
And right now, you
Yeah.
can participate without conflict to get the highest rewards in Albion Online. And I think that is an area where we're running into issues, and it's most notably expressed here on Albion Asia, whereas the other servers have had it at times. Albion Europe hasn't really faced much of it yet, but we've seen it on Albion Americas, and it's gone through cycles. But now Albion Americas is at a point where there's so much historical wealth involved in many areas of the game that it's taken on
Kind
a
of
very
hard to
different
combat at that point. One thing I
Yeah,
love about playing
it's
on
taken on
Americas
different
is
areas.
gear is so cheap though.
Mhm.
Amazing.
But that's because nobody ever had to fight for wealth, and there's no scarcity.
Well,
And
there's
scarcity is
huge
very
stockpiles of resources. It's something
it's very
Bogle's
hard
talked
to
about at length.
it's something Bogle and I both have like different. I think we both want to see similar things, but in different ways. And we both recognize the same problem, and we understand that SBI recognizes the same problem as well. And I think they also have an alternative view than us. So we'll see how
Right.
things go. And there's, to me, the longest ongoing problem that Albion has faced is how do you cause people to fight at the upper echelons without creating a scenario where one group can easily dominate the rest. And
Yeah,
that's
you don't want, because then
very hard
the
to
people
do.
with the money make more money, right? But if, like you said, if you go the opposite way and there's too many ways to do it,
Then
everybody has money and
has
it
it and
becomes,
nobody
yeah,
needs it.
and there's no fights.
Well, it doesn't just do that. It ends up to the situation where we, see it has a fallout effect on the rest of the game as well.
There you go. Well, that's something we can possibly talk about in the Daily Show, which will be coming up a bit later then.
Yeah, for sure.
Sounds like a good discussion for there. I'll be here for that and the EU, filling in for Robin today. He's got a 24-pack of Mountain Dew, watched a load of FaZe Clan montages, and I believe he's currently shouting Skibbity Toilet while playing Call of Duty. So
I think he's also, like, I don't know. I think for the last time, I think that was his original plan. But I think his plans may have come to a new stages. I believe he's once again got the old COVID.
Well, my free AI advisor tells me that Mountain Dew actually cures COVID, so he should be
Okay.
okay.
All right, yeah.
I didn't pay for the premium, and it shows.
You got your Russell Rogan AI over there.
Yeah, exactly. Right, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, wonderful Albion community. I've just remembered actually that it's Friday, but we've got a second Learning Maloo Pack show today with Melitris.
Ooh, what are you guys learning today?
We've been doing coping with corrupted dungeons. Has been fun. So this actually is a two-parter though, because I made Mel play while I coached and critiqued.
Oh god!
So I was like, but it's only fair that she gets the an hour of the other where she gets to watch me and call out all my.
Are you guys like? Are you guys using any programs to go ahead and do replays and stuff? Because I would recommend there's a few that'll make it really easy for.
Yeah, not at the moment because we're actually currently talking about just the mechanics of corrupted rather than the fight themselves. Fight analysis is something we'll have on a show on its own, right? And we're gonna encourage viewer submissions for that, hopefully. So that's something we're building towards. But currently we're just working through a lot of the core systems of the game and their basic works, right? Because you got 60 minutes, you can only cover so much. And I tend to go off on a tangent. You know this, Shozen. So I'm trying to pack it all in. We will be doing, if the learning show isn't coming up like straight away after this, then we should be there. We'll do it later on tonight, I'm sure.
All right. Well, sounds good. Looking forward to the next couple of shows, and yeah, should be fun. We're gonna have a full day of content.
Yeah, we've got loads to come. So keep it locked on AlbionTV, and we'll see you very, very soon for some more shows.
All right. Have a good one. See you soon.